Is Silver Samurai good? Well, my friends, I have the answer for you, and it's no. This is like a 3-4 out of 10 at best card, 100% skippable, and you know what? At the end of the day, Silver Samurai, I think it might get better. It might get better. We're going to talk about a few decks here. I'll run you through what my experimentations brought me, what my kind of testing showcased, but as a 4-5, I feel like it's a little underpowered and its effect is not always that good. Now, what I will say is that the decks around it feel very awkward. So here's the problem, right? When you think critically about what Silver Samurai does, okay, first of all, for people that might not realize, it's discarding the lowest power card from your hand and from the opponent, okay? The lowest power card. So the Taskmasters, the Zolas, the Iron Men, okay? The Hobgoblins. The lower the power, not the lower the cost. That's what Black Bolt does, but only for your opponent. So naturally you think to yourself, you know what? There must be some synergy with discarding things you want to discard while also disrupting your opponent. Well, that's what this deck does. Namely, there's a couple things you want to discard, okay? You have X23, which is a great discard candidate, but you discard it with the hope of playing something on turn 5 that is a 6 cost, or like, you know, you want that extra energy. Usually you're using that extra energy to play Stature is what it is, okay? That's the primary synergy. You use that extra energy, you discard X23, they discard a card that they wanted, you get to play Stature for cheap, okay? That's like the crux. There's other opportunities too. And this is where like the decks kind of get weird, because you're like, okay, if I can discard Iron Man or Hobgoblin and I can Ghost Ride it, well then now I'm getting some extra value. I play Silver Samurai, I get rid of my Iron Man, I bring it back with Ghost Rider. Okay, but think that through for a second, okay? You're playing Silver Samurai under most circumstances on turn 4, because, you know, Zabu's on the bottom of your deck. That means you're playing Ghost Rider on turn 5 to pull an Iron Man, which you could have just played on turn 5 anyway. And you require extra cards, more combos for a card that you could have just played on turn 5. So it's actually not that great. So yes, getting rid of a Taskmaster, getting rid of a Zola, getting rid of whatever is pretty damn good. I'm all about it. But when it comes to building combo-centric pieces for your deck, it felt awkward. Now, this was the Iron Samurai deck that we were experimenting with tonight, and it felt okay. But it didn't feel good, and in Marvel Snap, okay often doesn't cut it. You're not going to rank up with an okay deck. You might, but realistically, you want the best stuff, right? So this deck didn't cut it, so we kept experimenting. We tried something disruptive. What if we really try to mill them hard? What if we attack their deck with Mantis, destroy their deck with Yondu, prevent them from drawing with the Black Widow, pull cards from their deck with Cable? Everything was designed to attack their deck. It just didn't feel good. It just never felt good. It never got vertical. It never got power. And then here, the major combination is you play Dakin. The Maramasa Shard is in your hand. You get rid of the Shard with the Silver Samurai, and your opponent loses a card they want while also getting destroyed everywhere else. In theory, it should work, but in practice, kind of felt bad. It didn't do the job, so this deck wasn't it either. And then we had okay, what if you just play like a traditional discard list? What if it's just good there? And it just isn't. Like, why are you playing Silver Samurai in this deck? Like, so you have X23, which is the primary target, because you don't want to hit Morb. Because if you hit Morb, then you got to play the Ghost Rider. So what are you actually doing? You're discarding part of their hand, but like, do they really need the lowest cost card on turn 4 sometimes? Probably not. And then you end up in the situation where like, well, what am I doing with the extra mana? I'm just playing MODOK anyways. And then you're like, okay, well, Alex, you kind of want to play Dracula, but then, okay, if you're playing Dracula, you need to get Dracula back, so you have to play the Ghost Rider. But who the hell do you cut for Ghost Rider? You can't cut Chavez in a deck like this. Can't be a Bach, can't be MODOK. You cut Doc and you add Ghost Rider, this deck just sucks. So it's like, what are you doing? Doesn't work here either. That's why I called it Forced Silver Samurai. Just, it's forced. It doesn't make sense. We tried a mill with Lockjaw, which actually, for the record, this was my favorite, but it wasn't necessarily good. It didn't feel good. We won games, but it didn't feel great. So again, you're hitting X23, you're disrupting with Doc Ock, you're targeting the Dakin Shard, but what I liked about it was that you could play something like, Moon Knight into Lockjaw, and you could pull something out and disrupt their hand. So I actually originally had a version of this deck where I had like Infinite, Giganto, Magneto, so that like we were pulling big cards out of the Lockjaw while pumping their hand, but it just didn't seem like that valuable. Like, it just didn't seem like it was doing as much as we wanted, so we moved away from it. And then we went, okay, what if we like really attack their hand? What if we go like Modok, Absorbing Man, Pure Greed? What if we make it so they just have no cards in their hands? But like, it was so inconsistent. It just didn't feel worth it. And again, like if you didn't get the X23 discarded on turn 5, you can't Stature or Pac, you can't Stature or Chavez. And again, it doesn't have Dracula. And if you want Dracula, because it's a 0 cost, you have to run Ghost Rider, and it felt bad. So everything kind of felt awkward, and ultimately it was just like, okay, Silver Samurai kind of just feels like a card that doesn't make any deck better right now. You can force it, but why force it? It just doesn't make sense. It just kind of made every deck more awkward and worse. And I think that ultimately there's going to be cards that come out that really make a difference for Silver Samurai. And it kind of came to my mind. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is actually just really a tech card. Maybe this is for when Taskmaster Shuri goes off. Maybe this is for getting rid of Iron Man's in negative lists, or attacking negative when negative gets too popular. And maybe you can take advantage of that discard with X23, because really, if you think about it, X23 and Dakin, Season Pass card, recently released cards, they benefit from it. But honestly, this card, it's so skippable. It's so skippable. I don't think you need to pick it up. I really don't. And if I'm wrong, I want to be wrong. I love this card. I want to love Silver Samurai. And maybe my decks just suck. Maybe these ones just didn't get it done. And that's possible, right? Like I'm exhausted. It's the middle of the night. It's almost morning. But for me, low grade for me on Silver Samurai, honestly. I think this is passable. X23 definitely better. Man, I even like Lady Deathstrike better, which is kind of crazy. I'm surprised. I thought I was going to like this card more. But in practice, it just feels a little unnecessary. At 4/6, maybe it starts to make more sense, because now it replaces Black Bolt in some decks, and now we're talking. And it's actually, in theory, it kind of does replace Black Bolt, because you can, Stature's the big play, and if you can make value created by the discard on your side, you're still kind of hitting something valuable on the other side, aren't you? But anyways, I'm going to show you some gameplay examples that were recorded live on Twitch, just to showcase like how the card functions. Win or lose, I want to showcase it to you. And if you like these kind of videos, hit the like button. It supports the series immensely. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. I release these videos every week for the new cards that are coming out. And most importantly, I hope you enjoy these highlights that were recorded live on Twitch TV. Okay, we have the combo. This is literally the combo that we've been talking about. It's literally happening right now. Is it worth it though? Let's find out. It looks like an Agatha list. It looks like we're playing against Agatha here, which I respect. So all this work gets us here. 1v1 against Agatha. Taskmaster's gone. Hobbs gone. We Ghost Rider. How often have you seen Ghost Rider bring back Ghost Rider? Look at this. Double Ghost Rider. Unbelievable. You don't see that every day. You do not see that every day. Now we're in a tricky spot here. It has to be Iron Man mid here.
I am Iron Man.
I think that's an overcommittal, right? They wave? Lol?
All systems go.
So they have to attack us for 12 power here? Lol? So we win. It was a nasty win though, but like we had the full combo. Right? We had the full combo. It's just like, is it worth it? Are we actually blade gaming right now? Is that a joke? Or are we actually doing this? Stature's already free? We've already tried a full disrupt list and it felt really awkward. That's a friggin' disaster. So Jubilee's gone. Hobbs gone. We have initiative. Just me, just Bree. Thank you so much for the prime. Thank you for your support. Yeah, this guy's high. This guy's completely high. Yeah, okay. But like again, so we got the combo. We Silver Samurai, right? We hit Ghost. It worked, but like, is it really worth all that for? Like, it's now the way you play this deck. We have our discard components. Oh, Camartage, we snap every time. This is pretty cool here. We're trying to like blow up their hand. It's always Yondu on Camartage. Every game it's Camartage, they have Yondu. Every single time. I think I blew up their hand. We just need Hela to survive. They play a card, we destroy it. Do we skip? No. His Black Bolt left. He only has 2 in his hand. He's not gonna have good cards. And then we Hela. We bring back a couple cards. They play both, actually. This is kind of interesting. Venom on Camartage. Up by 1. That's a snipe. It's a good accidental victory there. That's a game. I think we play the swarm out. Like, do we just cut swarm for Dakin? Whatever we discard doesn't matter because Ghost Rider's in the deck. Legion's gone. Infinite's gone. Wasp into Sinister is actually a pretty nice play. So they're playing the high roll Patriot. So we just low rolled our, like, I can't look at this hand. What the? Imagine drawing and playing cards. Yeah, it's Patriot Lad for sure.
Hi y'all.
Hey, Big Drip. I'm glad you're here, folks. Glad you're here. I think we got to play Black Bolt here because we want to just tick the power. Iron Light hits Brood every time. Face down card pisses me off so much. So over that. Blue Marvel. Forge. It's Gambit Hela. We never discard Hela. I mean, an Infinite's dropping. Infinite Gigantor dropping here. So, this Hela's still 6 power. They have a Brood potentially. It's Blue Marble. So they just lose. That's a casserole win, folks. I'm just going to throw this out there. This deck that we just beat is, by most consideration, the best deck in the game. And we just Silver Lockjaw milled them. We didn't even play Silver Samurai, but just the actual deck itself functioned in a way that allowed us to beat what is considered the top meta deck. And this is a Hela deck, guys. We're not playing no Invisible Woman. We're just winning games.